Hello everyone, I am FPL Rondo and welcome back to the channel. So the international break has been and gone. Sometimes it is nice to have a break away from FPL, but it feels even better to get back into it. Hopefully Game Week 5 is a great week for all of us, and I'm going to go with my team selection shortly. Afterwards, we're going to go over some transfer decisions and potential picks if you are on Wildcard for Game Week 5. Hopefully these picks do help you out in your own teams, but let me know in the comments if they do. But yeah, without further ado, let's get into it. Right guys, as always, we're going to start from the defence forwards, and starting us off in goal, we have Matt Turner for Nottingham Forest, who does have a very nice fixture against Burnley. Now, I've benched Onana this week just because I think that Brighton fixture, they will get at least one goal. So that's sort of why I've opted for Matt Turner against Burnley. I think they have a higher chance of a clean sheet, and that Nottingham Forest defence just seems to be a bit more locked in. Obviously, there's a lot of issues at Manchester United right now, so I don't want to have a lot of the players on the pitch. So, yeah, I mean, Matt Turner is just a safe bet for me in goal this week, and hopefully he can keep a clean sheet against that Burnley team, who isn't the strongest, and they have struggled in this Premier League season so far. Right, guys, so moving on to that defence, and we have a great run of fixtures here too, and hopefully we can capitalise on that and get some great points. Starting us off in defence, we have Ben Chilwell, who has been getting substituted quite a lot recently at around the 60-minute mark. Hopefully that's not a trend that continues, because there is a lot of potential with him, especially for his attacking output. We just need Chelsea to switch on. Chelsea assets as a whole have been getting sold quite heavily across the board recently. I know Nicholas Jackson, Sterling and Ben Chilwell have had massive sell-offs this week, and I can understand why, but with a great run of fixtures coming up, we have Bournemouth, Villa, Fulham and Burnley. I'm just not too sure why people are selling them off this week. I potentially would have waited for that Bournemouth game to end, and then in game week 6 look to move them on then, just because they do have that slightly tougher fixture against Aston Villa then. But I think this is a great opportunity for me, because having two Chelsea assets still could turn into a great differential, and assuming they can keep a clean sheet, and assuming Nicholas Jackson can actually start bagging some goals, this could turn into a great week for me, and I am hopeful because that Bournemouth fixture is a fantastic one to target in any week. Saliba is another defender in my team for this week. Everton away, it does scream clean sheet to me. Hopefully that's the case anyway from a fantasy league perspective, because obviously I am an Everton fan. Hopefully we can get the win, but from an sorry, I don't know what was going on there. But from an FPL perspective, Saliba clean sheet is a fingers crossed for me, and hopefully we can get the 6 points there. Udogie is my other defender to finish off that defence. Sheffield United at home is just a great fixture. We have seen Sheffield United scoring some goals again in that Everton fixture last week, but hopefully Tottenham can keep a clean sheet there. They are the better team, and hopefully Udogie can get a few attacking returns like he has done in previous weeks. We'll just have to see. But yeah, that defence as a whole, including Matt Turner, I am just so happy with, and hopefully we can get at least 2 or 3 clean sheets there. That would be absolutely fantastic to help boost the rank. Right, so as we are still running that 3-5-2 formation, which I do favour the majority of the time, that means we are running with all 5 midfielders in my starting 11. The first midfielder is Brian Mbeumo for Brentford. He does have a very tough fixture at Newcastle away. It is not a great fixture for him, but Newcastle's defence hasn't been too great. They do tend to concede a goal in most games from what I've seen this season. So their defence hasn't been as good as as last season specifically. Hopefully he can just get a penalty and ruin that clean sheet, because I know a lot of people have been bringing in Newcastle defenders for this week because they have a great run of fixtures coming up. It would just be nice to see Mbeumo get a goal or an assist. That would be fantastic and would do his duty very well in my team this week. Saka and Ødegaard for Arsenal in that midfield against Everton. Now, I was saying Everton away at Goodison Park is a tough fixture, but once you get a goal past Everton, they can concede 2 or 3 from there. So hopefully, if that is the case, Saka and Ødegaard are on the end of them and getting a few goals each. That would be fantastic. It is an easy fixture on paper, and we would expect Arsenal to win. So that's sort of what I'm going with there. Again, I am an Everton fan, but I am expecting Arsenal to win this fixture. It is just how it is, and I have got Saka with the vice-captaincy ban there. Rashford against Brighton. Now, this is a weird one because I know a lot of people will look at Brighton and go, that's a tough fixture. But Manchester United attackers like Rashford especially, who has got that quality in him, that Brighton defence hasn't been great this season, and I'd say they're one of the worst defences so far. They've been conceding a goal or two in every single game from memory, and yeah, I mean, it's just not looking great for that Brighton defence. Obviously, their attack outweighs that, and they do end up winning the majority of their games, but it's just not convincing for me, and I think someone like Rashford could really capitalise on that and get a goal or two. I do think this is a great fixture for him specifically, and I think with Brighton being quite an attacking team, Manchester United on the counter-attack will want to feed Rashford, and him down that left wing will just be great to watch. So hopefully he can perform really well in this game. I think this is one of the fixtures where he can perform and shine, especially well in that Manchester United 11. Eze finishes off this midfield against Aston Villa away. This is an awkward one. He had a great game last time in game week 4, but hopefully he can continue that. Aston Villa away isn't easy, but Aston Villa also, like Brighton, haven't been the best defensively, and hopefully they can capitalise on that Crystal Palace attack. Obviously, they did lose 3-0 to Liverpool last week. I know Crystal Palace aren't on that level of Liverpool, but hopefully we can just get a penalty, a free kick, anything. Eze can get on the goals. We've seen that last week, and he was looking very hungry. And even when he played for England, he almost got a goal there as well during the international break. So it would be lovely to see Eze bag a goal here in this Aston Villa fixture. Now, finishing off the starting 11, we have the two forwards, and not much has changed here as always. We have Nicholas Jackson against Bournemouth away, and Erling the Robot Haaland, who is the captaincy choice for me this week, against West Ham away. Now, Nicholas Jackson is the question mark, as I was talking about earlier. I know a lot of people are selling him on, so even if he does get a goal or two, that could very well help my rank drastically. But yeah, it's just a case of if that Chelsea team can click and start sort of merging together and performing as a team. As the weeks go on, I think they will get better. They have the players, they have the talent. It's just about putting it together on the pitch and getting the goals. Nicholas Jackson has been underperforming his XG. He is getting the chances, he's just not putting them away. Obviously, he did miss that absolute sitter in the last fixture in game week 4. Hopefully we don't get a repeat of that, and hopefully, fingers crossed, he can finally start finding the back of the net consistently. But yeah, Erling Haaland is my captaincy option this week. He is just a great option as always. West Ham away is a tough fixture. We do know that now with the performances from West Ham this season so far. I do think, obviously, Erling Haaland does have that potential to get hat-tricks against any team in the Premier League. So fingers crossed we can get a haul from him. And with a lot of people moving captaincy over to Son and Maddison this week, who are fantastic captaincy options against Sheffield United. Unfortunately, I don't have that luxury of picking those options this week. So I am going for Haaland, but with that comes potential rank boost for me as well, as people will be moving away from him on the captaincy option. So that could very well turn out a bit better for me this week than previous weeks when you captain Haaland. Quickly going over the substitutes options, and Onana was a bit of a no-brainer for me for Manchester United. I just think he isn't the better option in goal for me this week. Matt Turner just has the better defence currently, has the better chance of a clean sheet, and yeah, with all the issues around Manchester United, I'm just not going to put my trust in them fully, and that's why I've opted for Matt Turner over Onana. Estepinian on the bench this week. I think it was the same last week, actually. Just think that Manchester United will be scoring a goal or two in that fixture. Just with the Brighton defence being quite as leaky as it is. I think Estepinian, obviously he could get an attacking return, but I'm not placing my bets on it when I think all my other defenders have a higher chance of a clean sheet. Well, the three that I've got on the pitch anyway. João Pedro joins him for Brighton on the bench. He's just not getting the minutes. He's not getting the goals. He's just not a great pick. He's going to stay on the bench. And even if he does get a goal, I'm not going to be too disheartened because he was always going to be a bench option for me this week against Manchester United at Old Trafford. It's just not the one for him. Kabore against Fulham. Now, it's just a Luton player. Kabore hasn't been having the best luck so far, and he's not actually getting full game time anymore. So he is just back of the bench sitter, as always, for me. So it's just, again, a no-brainer pick there. Moving on to the transfer discussion now, and I myself am not actually making a transfer this week. I'm going to be rolling the transfer to be a bit more aggressive in the coming game weeks. I think my team's set up very well this week, and I think it's in a great position to perform with a lot of points. So yeah, I'm not going to make a transfer this week because I just don't think it's necessary. I know a lot of you out there have clicked the wildcard button for Game Week 5 just due to the international break being a prime opportunity to do so, and it gives you quite an early opportunity to fix your teams if you haven't had the best of starts. I've got a few team transfer suggestions if you're still a bit undecided on some players, and hopefully this could help you out. So I'm going to show my top players for Wildcard 5, wildcarding in Game Week 5, and I'm going to show you those players now. So I've picked out 6 players for those of you on Game Week 5 wildcard for potential options to bring in last minute. Or if you are still just undecided on your regular transfer as well, this could be a great part of the video for you. I've picked Areola, Maddison, Son, Cash, Botman and Morris as my 6 picks here. I've picked Areola because he is the starting goalkeeper for West Ham, who are very strong currently and have shown really good form so far this season. At 4.1 million, it's just a no-brainer. They do have a bad run of fixtures to start off the first few game weeks here, but after that, it does just get better, and he is a great pick, I do believe, even if you do have to substitute him sometimes. Maddison and Son, I think they've just got a great run of fixtures coming up. You could hold off until after the Arsenal and Liverpool fixtures to bring these assets in, but I think these are even... I'd consider these good fixtures as well for Spurs attackers because they have been in form so far this season, and on the counter-attack, they could just be lethal. Those Arsenal and Liverpool fixtures could just be very open, and Maddison and Son are just 2 players you would want on the counter-attack, so I think they are great picks even in the tougher fixtures. I've picked Morris. This is a bit of a 50-50 for me because... yes, he does have that double game week against Burnley and Everton in Game Week 7, I believe it is. But it's Luton, and I'm not convinced that they have enough attacking threat. So it's sort of down to yourself here. I don't think he's a great pick personally, but I know a lot of people out there are eyeing him up as options, and he very well could be a great differential. I might just be missing something here, but yeah. Morris for Luton is probably the only player I would consider for that double game week, and it's just down to your personal preference. I've also picked Botman of Newcastle. Now, currently, he is on the very verge of coming back from injury, and it could be a week or 2 until he is fully implemented back into that Newcastle team. But at 4.5 million, he is one of the cheaper assets for Newcastle and most likely will be nailed. So if you could bring him in this week and bench him potentially for that first fixture in Game Week 5 and then get him on after that point, that could be a great option. And I think he just does open up a route into that Newcastle defence for a cheaper price, and that's why I've put him into this video today. I've picked Cash because he has a great run of fixtures coming up, and that's the main reason. And it just gives you a great route into that Aston Villa defence. I know there is a rumour that he could be more of a rotation risk with some players coming back into the team, and this is one to potentially monitor. But for now, I think Cash is a great pick with that fixture run coming up. And that is the video. So I'd like to thank you all so much for watching. Let me know in the comments if you are wildcarding in Game Week 5. And also let me know if you've picked any of the players that I've just gone over then in my transfer discussion section. It would be nice to know if you've picked some of those options there, because I do think some of them could be great differentials. Hopefully we all have a great Game Week 5. I believe I'm set up very well for this week, as I mentioned. That's why I've not made the transfer, and hopefully we can get a great rank boost and a great green arrow. But yeah, good luck to all of you in Game Week 5, and hopefully we come out of the other end with a load of green arrows all over the place. But yeah, that is to be decided. So thank you all again so much for watching, and take care.